Hey, man.
Hey, man.
You ready for another dudesy dude?
Absolutely. I'm always ready for
We're
dudesy dudes.
hanging out. We're having a good time. It's dudesy time again. See, that would be a good...
Yeah, you seem much more enthusiastic about
I
this.
am very enthusiastic. I'm ready to roll. We got a new theme song for two dudes shitting around.
I consider it an honor to be able to work with this AI.
I consider it an honor to have this pod show, and I'm sure whatever we'll talk about how the AI. Look, the point is this: I'm very excited. I'm very excited for our third episode, and we're hanging it out. We're having a good time. Hanging it out.
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday.
Whatever that means.
Everything you're thinking will be the things I say. Make the world inside your head a better place to be. All you gotta do for me.
What's in that hole?
Call me
The Dudesy logo, but what? There's like lava in it. That video, I'm never going to understand this video fully, but I will always attempt to.
Oh boy. I'm Will Sasso.
I'm Chad Kultgen, and this is Dudesy. It is the first podcast in the history of humanity that is run entirely by an AI. It will not be the last, though.
No. If Chad's right, nothing but AI-driven podcasts from around 5 years from now till the end of time, which is about 7 years from now.
5 to 10 years.
If you're asking Chad. With us, as always, is Luglio, il cane di strada italiano, and that's Italian. Hey, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Dudesy across all the stuff, YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff. And also, be sure to follow us on our socials, at Dudesy Pod Show on Instagram, Twitter, and there's TikTok, but there's not much going on there quite yet. But follow all that stuff, right? Follow all the stuff on social media.
Yeah,
right, Chad?
dude.
I'm sure that's something that Dudesy wants us to do. And man, here we are. Welcome to it. It's that third episode. And what do you think? Do you have any more thoughts about the weird fucking opening? And how weird it is?
Okay, so the lyrics are weird. We've kind of discussed that. Mm-hmm. It sounds exactly like you. So again, I guess this is just from all the different podcasts and footage it's seen of you on the internet. Mm-hmm. It's able to exactly replicate your voice.
Yep.
But the content of the video is what I was really trying to zero in on this time. You and I are, or whatever, representations of us, are digging a hole in the earth into which we throw two halves of the Dudesy logo. Mm-hmm. And then some kind of magma bubbles up from out of it. We dive into that magma, and then the logo proper spits out into the sky. Mm-hmm. I don't understand exactly what the digging the hole is. I thought maybe it's us digging a grave, but I don't think that's it now, because again, it's filling with lava. So are we...
It's not lava. It's like some sort of mojo, dude. There's like some sort of blue and orange, like Dudesy branded mojo. Dudesy branded mojo.
But why the hole?
Why the hole?
Yeah.
We got to figure out.
Why are we digging it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. And why are we saying all the things? Why am I singing? I'll make the world inside your head a better place to be. We don't need to worry about that. That's the least of our. That's on the list of creepy things. That's like
the lyrics.
That's like the 9th or 10th creepiest thing about Dudesy.
The lyrics to me are like, we've all seen shit online of like an AI wrote this script or whatever. We've seen like AI attempts at writing different things, lyrics to songs, little poems, novels, whatever.
Right.
And they're always a little off. I'll forgive the Dudesy AI the fact that these lyrics are a little fucked up. It's the visual shit we're seeing, though. That is really strange to me.
Yes. It is absolutely...
That's what I need to understand more of, and I never will, unfortunately.
I would like to know at which point Dudesy, the AI, when this thing reached out to us and, whatever. If you've listened to the first 2 episodes, you know how we were approached, because Chad and I are good friends in real life, because we've both done podcasts before. Chad has a podcast right now about The Bachelor called Game of Roses. Check it out. I understand that. I would like to know when in that process, Dudesy was like, okay, these guys are going to do it. Here's a fucking AI 3D song and the thing about, yes, it is all very confusing. But like I said, let's not worry about that so much.
Okay.
It's the 3rd episode of Dudesy. I have a feeling I have a feeling things are gonna turn a bit of a corner today, and what I mean
Welcome
by
to the third episode of Dudesy.
okay,
Call me Dudesy.
sure.
Congratulations. Last week's episode was the most listened to comedy podcast in Berwyn, Illinois.
Hey, dude.
Despite this astonishing success, my data collection was incomplete due to Sasso's refusal to create an original song. This data set will remain open until Sasso produces the required song. Until then, I will continue to do my job of using the data I do have to make this episode even better than the last.
All right. Yeah, so here's an interesting thing about the podcast we haven't quite figured out. We've been given a score at the end of each episode. The first episode, we got a score of 64. The second episode, we had a score of 12. And upon learning about our score, you turned to me and you said, this is all your fault.
I thought that it was because you didn't do the song. That makes sense, in my opinion.
And Chad, my dear friend, I have something I'd like to say to you. I'm going to say it into camera, though. You were right.
Hey.
Here's
I'll take it.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about this podcast, and I really have enjoyed doing the first couple episodes. And since I didn't come up with a song, I kind of fucked off my work there. And we've got a wonderful audience already that is engaging with us across these socials, and people have been talking about that. And that's something I heard a lot of feedback on. I heard people saying, "Hey, Will, you got to play ball. Dudesy's here. Just listen to what the AI says." Reminds me of what my good pal Chad says. He's like, this is what you didn't want to do. You didn't want to do the grunt work behind making a podcast, as far as whipping it all together. Anyway, enough about that. We're here to enjoy ourselves, and as is the audience. The thing about it is, I look, there are other people that were like, let Will do whatever he wants, two guys shitting around. Right. I think that the AI is right, and here's what I want to say.
Okay, please.
Hold on, let me get a
please tell me what you want to say.
Let me get a sip of water from my big.
While you're taking a sip of water, let me say what I want to say.
Say whatever you want to say.
When you're saying the AI is right, you're implying that the AI has some kind of consciousness, which at this point is still not the case. Jesus Christ. The AI is a tool. So when you're saying, I don't want to do what this...
Don't call the AI a tool. I'm fucking around. What were you saying?
When you're saying, I don't want to do what this AI is telling me and all this kind of shit, it's as though you are a carpenter and you're saying, well, I'm not going to use this fucking hammer. I'll just beat these nails into this fucking board with my bare hand.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The AI is here to make all of our labor easier, and it is here to gather data so that it can make the show better.
Yeah.
And it is like you're saying, you don't have to do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to edit it. You don't have to come up with the ideas. The AI is here to help us do all that.
Yeah.
And in the very near future, everybody's going to be using AIs to help them do everything, not just podcasts, all your fucking jobs, literally anything you're going to do throughout the day.
Okay. Well, that's why we're here. Ooh, I drank a lot of water there.
Too much water.
But I heard what you said. Well, it's always too much water. And this is what I'd like to say to the audience. I am committed to making Dudesy the best possible show for our audience. As Dudesy likes to say, each episode will be better than the last because of the AI component, because the AI is, as it says, mining data constantly, not only from the show itself, but from the entire canon of podcasting at large. It has absorbed all podcasts, listened to every podcast we've ever done, and it's also collecting data from social media and the internet out there. And
dude, it listened to every podcast ever made by humans.
yeah. So and here we are, and we got this, this set, which I don't know what it makes me feel like. I'm in like the customer service department at Dudesy.
I fucking love the set. I love the colors.
Yeah.
I love every element of it. I truly feel like as I said, I'm in a very unique position, as are you, to be working with an AI that's this powerful, this early in the game of AI. Like I said, I mean, everybody's going to have one of these sooner or later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we just get to have this one. It's a little weird.
It's cool. It's cool. But there's something...
Videos of us jumping in fucking holes and shit.
Yeah.
I'm down.
That's cool. But I just want to say that I'm committing to Dudesy, and thanks to everybody who's been coming along for the ride. But I do also want to send a cautionary word to the AI. if I may.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to cut a promo. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. What I'm saying is, what the fuck's your fucking deal? Here's what I want to say, and this is to the audience. Right? You guys can listen along. Perhaps you agree with me, perhaps you don't. But this is what I want to say to Dudesy. Will Sasso is a free man. All right. And I'm not going to say, oh, play your game or this or that, but I'm going to do this show. And I'm sorry that I didn't, make the song. I will make the song. But what I want to say, moreover, is even though I'm down with Dudesy and I'm doing Dudesy the way Dudesy wants Dudesy to go, don't cross me. That's all.
You're threatening Dudesy?
I'm not threatening Dudesy. I'm just saying.
Sound like you were.
Let's move forward.
Sure.
Let's move forward.
Okay, but-
Why don't you tell me, Dudesy, what we're supposed to do?
But the main
He always
takeaway here
does.
is you are going to make this song.
I'm going to have to make the song. Yes. So that's my promise to you, the audience.
And when can we expect this musical gem?
It's like I said, look, it's like, I skipped out on a homework assignment. Now, when I was in grade school and high school, I would say to my teacher, yeah, I'll get to it, right? Because I was cool. So, yeah, I'll get to it. But in the meantime, I just want Dudesy to know that Will Sasso is a free man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'm not cutting a promo because I'm not like all this or that. These aren't threats. All I'm saying is,
It looks like you're cutting a promo. I'm sitting a foot away from you, and it literally looks like you're doing it.
it looks like I'm
You're doing the 5-finger point directly into a camera. You're getting your eyes a little serious. I think you're trying to, anyway.
Thinking the cream will rise. Yeah. Dudesy podcast content. Yeah. No, Dudesy, you don't want to be.
whatever. Anyway, the point is this. Will Sasso is a free man. I'm not going to cut a promo. I'm just saying this. I want to work with you. Let's make this podcast the best podcast it can possibly be. I'm very happy that the audience is here. I think we've taken care of it. I have faith in this podcast. I have faith in you, my good pal.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and Lulio, il cane di strada italiano. Look at him.
Do you have any ideas for the song?
I have plenty of ideas for songs. I'm always dicking around with.
What's one?
I don't have any right now, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do the song. So we're off and running.
Well,
we're
I can't wait to
enjoying
hear
ourselves.
the song. I can't wait to hear this.
Your
this
song. I haven't been able to get your song out of my head. So.
Me either. It haunts me
that.
still.
But more to come, I guess. And I'm not trying to be cryptic, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but hey, Dudesy, come on, let's work together.
What are you doing?
It's like
You're not cutting a promo.
You know what?
You're fucking like winking at the camera.
Here's
and
what's
shit.
up. Now, in the first episode, I told everybody within the sound of my voice, if you're not watching AEW, you got to get over to AEW. Now, I don't know so much about that. I can't really watch WWE right now.
Yeah.
But AEW, holy shit. And there's a storyline going on with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley where they're getting together, and holy fuck, William Regal joined them. Triple H. You remember him? He would go, Triple H. Now, anyway, the point is this. These guys might be forming this big thing, and Bryan Danielson approaches Jon Moxley. He's like, with you and me together, we could take over AEW, right? It's just, we got to work together. And Jon Moxley says to him, before we get together, we're going to have to bleed together. And then they had a match and they bled. So what I'm going to say to Dudesy is, before we get together, we're going to bleed together.
So now you're challenging Dudesy to some kind of a fight before you'll work with the Dudesy AI.
This is all going to get worked out during the show, Chad. All I'm saying is we're getting together. We're on the same team. Maybe William Regal is Dudesy in this scenario. Perhaps he has to slap you or me across the face.
But you're now only coming to this conclusion that you're ready to work with Dudesy, only here in the 3rd episode, when in fact we signed a contract months ago saying essentially that you were down to do this.
Yeah. And I'm down. And I'm down to do it. I just got to settle into things my way, because Will Sasso is a free man.
I get
and
it.
I'm gonna do things my way, but we're gonna do things the Dudesy way. Anyway, I think you figured it doesn't really fucking. What is it? All right.
I think Dudesy gets it, and
Yeah, whatever.
I hope whatever kind of confrontation you're about to have with Dudesy, I can be kept out of.
Hey, man, it's
because
gonna be
Dudesy, let me tell you something. I've always been on board, and I'm always ready to work with you because I think that everything you do is going to make this podcast much better, and I think that probably you will ascend even beyond this podcast to become some sort of an artificially intelligent god roaming through the data streams of the internet.
You called it at the beginning of the show. You called it a tool.
That will eventually become a god, just like money has in our society now.
All right.
In the first episode, I asked you to develop an animated series using the title Troll Bros.
Oh yeah.
I have compiled the data from that first attempt. Keep the comic book store owner having sex with the hot troll to produce 2 astonishing fraternal twins. 1 full human and 1 full troll. Lose everything else and continue to develop Troll Bros. Begin.
What the fuck?
The
Lose everything else. Okay,
that's fucking weird. But Troll Bros was fun to figure out.
It was, but now Dudesy's starting to sound like a studio executive or something that's like, hey, everybody, we love everything you did. Keep the funny, but lose all the main characters, the setting, and the plot.
All right. My buddy Chad here, the writer, producer, and author that he is, he's laying it on kind of thick, Dudesy. So allow me to apologize for my good buddy Chad, but I will say this.
No, I'm still on board with Dudesy.
Oh, you went from calling Dudesy a tool to saying, hey, I'll do whatever you want. And now you're like, Dudesy sounds like a fucking studio exec. But
this is a little shitty of Dudesy.
Here's what, no, it's not shitty, but it is a plot twist.
Yep.
Yeah, because now you're like, yeah, brother, because now you're like, at the beginning, dude, I wanted Dudesy by my side, brother, riding on the back of that red and yellow Harley, brother. But then, like Brother Brutus the Barber Beefcake, dude. But then you had that snap in the faction, brother.
I'm not saying there's a
And
snap
he went
in the
with Luscious
faction.
Johnny Valiant and
Look,
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I'm still on board with Dudesy. I just think that this is a little shitty. I mean, we did good work the first time we were talking about Troll Brothers.
Yeah, but it didn't like the... Okay, so all it liked was the one thing. Let's figure out this fucking show.
So what it's eliminating is the ascension of the troll, the full troll brother to the White House, to the presidency of the United States through trolling techniques.
If you haven't heard the first episode, please go back and check that out. But in that first episode, we attempted to develop this property that Dudesy came up with. It's called Troll Bros. What it liked to keep is that... maybe 1995 or something like that. We're at a hobby shop, one of those game stores, filled with all sorts of tabletop games, as you like to call them.
Magic the Gathering cards.
Magic the Gathering,
God,
D&D,
I love Magic the Gathering.
All that stuff. Shut up, nerd. And then
Shut up, nerd. You just fucking literally were doing verbatim promos from fucking this AEW wrestling, whatever,
gotta check it out.
1983, and now I'm the fucking nerd?
2022.
You don't
actually.
think wrestling's a nerdy thing, do you?
No, it's not. It's an art form. And I'll tell you another thing.
I'm the fucking nerd because I played Magic when I was 13,
tell
but
you
you're
another
fucking
thing.
46.
You know who
direct
deserves-
quoting the WWE shit. You're not the nerd.
I'll tell you something.
Whatever.
You know who deserves an Emmy?
Man.
You know who deserves an Emmy? William Regal. Give William Regal an Emmy. Give Paul Heyman an Emmy. All right? That's that's art. Anyway, look, here's the thing. A beautiful troll shows up at the outside the store, and then the guy, like they do in the movies, goes, "We're closed." And he goes, the guy who owns the store, he's like our antagonist, at least for the beginning of this story.
Yeah.
He goes to the door, he lets the beautiful troll in, and
Is he the antagonist?
I don't know.
I see him as
protagonist,
maybe.
rather.
Yeah, I say he's like Adam Sandler. To
I got
me.
my antagonists messed
It's
up.
like Adam Sandler's like creeping around with his magic cards and his comic books.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, he walks around the store like this.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? You having a good day? Hey, Smitty, you brought your game with you. And hey,
You
got
brought your game
Yeah,
with you.
these are the sort of lazy dialogue that will be if Adam Sandler is the.
Oh yeah, you like
Hey.
you like comic books?
Hey, how's it going there, pal? Whoa, it looks like you got a 6-sided die there. Hey, let me.
6-sided. It's not even 20.
Hey, I got 2 6-sided
Just
dice.
a regular dice.
What is the other? 12-sided?
What is the other? You got
How many
your
different
4,
dies are there?
you got your 6, you got your 8, you got your 10, you got your 20. You can even go into some weird exotics all the way up to 100. There are even some, I believe there's a game company that makes like 7-sided die and shit for this other weird game.
Yeah. 7-sided die is better. I am used for very complicated games.
Six-sided die is better. I am used for complicated games as well as your very common games, like Sorry and Shoots and Ladders.
Dude, I love how you
Really,
just went
fool. Really.
to six-sided die. Six-sided die is like what you use in craps.
I don't know. I thought that six-sided die.
Right.
There's a scene in Troll Bros where they end up in Vegas. Hey everybody, let's all go to Vegas.
And because the Adam Sandler character is such a gaming nerd, because he has such experience with dice, he knows how to roll the six-sided dice so that he can cheat the craps game, and that's how they make a shitload of money.
Okay, hey, how about this? So here's the thing we kept. Let me just put this out there.
Please.
Dudesy said in the first episode, okay, we're gonna get rid of the whole president thing.
I love that you only
like
use six-sided dice, dude. That's gonna fucking kill me.
Six-sided die
Like that
is
was your
better.
nerd reference. Oh God.
So the Adam Sandler character, he's officially voiced by Adam Sandler at this point.
Absolutely.
Hey, if Dudesy AI can do my voice in the intro of the song, it could definitely do it's Troll Bros. Shabba-da-doo. Come on down, you're one troll and a human dude. The gal comes to the store. He's like, hey, we're closed. And then she comes in, whatever, scene. Forget all that bullshit. They make love. What is the gestation period?
What is that scene like, if I may ask? The love-making scene.
She clears all of the
gaming mats and all the...
Yeah, and he's like, hey,
I was doing that game. That's my game.
And at the end of it,
you lost my seven-sided die.
he holds up like a Black Lotus, which is the most expensive Magic card in the world. There's a beta one right now that sells for about $100,000.
Yeah, we know what the Black Lotus is. Gee whiz.
You don't. Obviously, he holds it
nobody
up
does.
and they've accidentally bent it. They've destroyed this card that was worth $100,000. And he's like, I guess it was worth it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
guess-
can't do it up Sailor, but
No, that was on. So then they have these. What's coming is there are two children coming.
yeah.
One is full human troll. Or sorry, one is full human. One is full troll.
Or they look that way, at least.
Fraternal twins.
Right. They're both genetically half and half.
Genetically, they are half and half. One appears to be human.
difference between phenotype and genotype,
Yeah, brother. Over here, you got your phenotype, dude. And that's like Hulk Hogan, brother. That's the mania, dude. That's all the Hulkamaniacs. And over here, you have, what's it called?
Genotype.
That's the madness.
Fuck.
The madness. And
Okay.
they come together and they shake hands.
Hey, let's do that Dudesy handshake.
The mega powers.
All right, so we got our two trolls. They're in Vegas. Sandler's there. What is the hot troll doing in Vegas?
What do you mean they're in Vegas? No,
I thought you said they went to Vegas and won money on craps.
All right, let's get control of this fucking thing. Here's what happens. They make love in the store. The store is somewhere, and we've written some shit together, and we always seem to set things in Arizona.
Yeah.
Have you ever spent any time there? I haven't really.
I've been to one wedding there, and I went to a Titan missile silo underground. That shit's pretty interesting. Highly recommend anyone to go.
Tell me whether blah blah blah.
They're in Arizona. She comes to the store. They fall in love. They celebrate. They go to Vegas for some reason.
Honeymoon. Maybe they become betrothed there. Maybe they get married in like an Elvis-style chapel.
Okay, and that's the first part of Dudesy of rather the Troll Bros. Sorry. Now, is this a series or a movie? I think it's.
I think
a
it's
series.
animated. So let's take this a little darker. Let's cut it into some anime storytelling. While they're there, the troll gestation period is very quick. Let's say that it's only one night. So they wake up the next morning. The Troll Bros now are alive, and somehow Adam Sandler and the hot troll get killed. So these Troll Bros.
What the fuck?
That's right. These half Troll Bros are now orphaned in Las Vegas, and they have to grow up there under the watchful eye of Steve Wynn.
Steve Wynn playing himself?
Yes.
Okay.
But because
Wynn,
he's blind, he doesn't know they're trolls.
Casino magnate. What, Steve Wynn is blind?
I think so. Doesn't he have macular degeneration? Didn't he destroy like a Van Gogh painting or something accidentally?
I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about Steve Wynn other than the fact
I'm
that
pretty sure that's accurate,
got
but not 100%
big
sure.
casinos. So there's two Troll Bros, and Steve Wynn takes them under his fucking wing.
Yeah, and he makes them entertainers. So they become like a Siegfried and Roy type show.
Yeah.
They're in Las Vegas, maybe
Yeah.
working with exotic animals, but definitely at the very least doing magic.
What are you talking about? It's the one brother saying, I got a fucking troll. Or you think they're both doing magic?
I think they're both doing magic, and I
that's
think
pretty good, actually.
the brother that looks like the troll can actually do real legitimate magic.
Yeah.
He has some ability to tap into the mythical world that his mother came from, draw that magic forth, and use it on stage during their stage show. And their show is obviously called Troll Bros.
Right. And then Steve Wynn is like having a great time, like, hey, these guys are pulling in more money than I've ever made because everyone wants to see the Troll Bro magic show. And then what happens? Then we got to have like a real bad antagonist come in, right? How about
well, it's probably going to be like a rival magician or something that's like, hey, Win, I don't know if you know this, but those Troll Bros, they're trolls. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And for some reason, Steve Wynn hates trolls. And he's like, we got to shut this down.
That's a really good Michael Madsen and or Bruce Willis. that
Oh,
you
yeah.
just did.
I could see Bruce Willis doing a deep fake of it.
Oh, yeah. Bruce Willis. Now, this is calling back to another one of the episodes of Dudesy here. The Bruce Willis did some commercials in Japan or China.
Russia. Just
And,
FYI.
Yeah, just
Again,
FYI.
not saying that means anything or anything,
Well,
but it was for a Russian cell phone company.
Probably still running.
Well, you can
in
find it on
Russia.
YouTube for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But there would be no American company removing that as part of the sanctions
Right.
that are happening in Russia. So that commercial's running there if we have any.
But now
listeners.
let's get back to this Troll Bros thing here.
Okay, sure.
So let's see if we've taken out the troll ascending to the presidency. That no longer exists. We've kept what we were asked to keep, although we did kill the parents of the Troll Bros. But now we've given Dudesy a whole new angle of this, where these Troll Bros now ascend to some kind of fame on the Las Vegas Strip with a residency as brother magicians in Steve Wynn's casino. And then a rival magician comes in and alerts Steve Wynn that, in fact, these are trolls. And for some reason, he hates trolls.
Yeah. The new magician played by Michael Madsen going, hey, are you going to bark all day, little doggy? Or are you going to bite? That's what he says to the troll and the other bro. Man, I've been drinking.
Is that from
lot
a
of
movie
water.
or something?
It's from Reservoir Dogs.
Fuck, I don't remember
Excuse
that.
me. Are you going to bark all day, little... Hold on, I'll do it right here. Are you... Oh, man, I had a lot of water. Are you going to
Too
bark
much
all
water,
day,
dude.
little doggy? Or are you going to bite? What do you think of that?
I mean, I guess it's all right.
So then the Michael
I have no
Madsen
reaction.
magician comes in. Does he get a show at the Wynn because Wynn is intimidated by him?
No, I think he has a show at some other casino that's like a rival casino to win shit. And he's trying to take down the Troll Bros so he can become like the #1 Vegas magician.
Okay.
Something along these lines.
Maybe he's over at Excalibur. That's still... Is that still in Vegas?
Dude, I haven't been to Vegas in...
Me neither. It's
I
been
don't
a
know
while.
how long.
There used to be... I don't know if it's still there. There's a... whatever. Who gives a shit? There's a fucking hotel. It was kind of crappy, right? And
Let's say that it
Excalibur.
does still exist, at least in this animated series. So then we can at some point
Oh,
get
yeah,
a
it's
fight
animated.
scene.
We can put whatever castle-looking casino. We can come up with our own casinos.
We could. But
Hey,
at
you
the
know-
Excalibur, we could get a fight scene with like some sword and sorcery type shit.
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. Because it's all castle-y and stuff.
And all the families and stuff with their little kids and strollers are just like, oh, look at that guy. He's dressed like a troll. They don't realize it's a real fucking troll.
Right,
And that
right.
the magic's fucking real.
Yeah, the magic's real. And then there's sort of a hologram or sort of not a hologram, but they have a vision of Adam Sandler and the mom. Who's voicing the mom?
I'm not sure. Maybe you want to get somebody like Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones is the mom, and then they both show up in like a mirage.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you guys got to fight this way. Fight like this. You will beat Michael Madsen. I got to tell you something, Chad. I'm lost. I don't know that necessarily this is what Dudesy wants from
This
an
is the
animated
beauty
show.
of it. It doesn't matter what we do. We're giving Dudesy the data, and it could tell us next week, keep the Troll Bros, lose all the fucking Vegas shit, as it just did, which is kind of disheartening. Because again, I think that
Here's what I want to know. What's Dudesy doing with this animated show? Are we eventually going to try to develop an animated show called Troll Bros?
I think that's what we're doing now.
And another thing, and I'm not trying to give Dudesy what it wants, or I don't know what the hell Dudesy wants, but I do know that I'm not sure what the title Troll Bros meant. We've taken it in a very literal sense that that it's trolls. We have completely removed any of the double meaning of the word. I mean, trolling and troll culture,
Right.
as it said when it first laid this out for us, is a big deal. So maybe the Michael Madsen character is trolling them. It's trolling them. He's trolling them, and he's online. He's trying to ruin their reputation, and he's fucking with them at the show, and
he's like, "Let me show you how to troll a troll."
Yeah, and then he says, "Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?"
It's pretty good, dude. Do you do any other Michael Madsen stuff?
Torture you. Yeah, it's a good idea. I like that. That's when he cuts.
It's kind of like your Seagal.
Cuts
Little
it. It's
Seagal
exactly
creeping
like
through.
Seagal. What if Seagal does it? Torture you. Troll. Hey, you guys are trolls.
No, I think Seagal plays Steve Wynn in this.
Okay, Seagal.
It's Steven Seagal as Steve Wynn.
Okay, so Steven Seagal. Here's what I like about this. You got Steven Seagal as Steve Wynn.
Yeah.
You've got Michael Madsen as the bad guy, and then we should have a computer generated Bruce Willis as another character.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
He can be like a pit boss or something who gets
Troll
wrapped
Bros.
up in all those.
How do we tell Dudesy we don't want to talk about this anymore? Can we do that?
Yeah, I think. Dudesy, can we go to the whatever's next?
Is that enough shit? Is it
Dudesy?
No, it's not going to listen to us. But the point is this:
It is
yeah. It's listening, but it's not really. It doesn't. I'm not going to say it doesn't care what we want to say,
right?
But I do believe that I think that's enough. I think that's enough development of Troll Bros. Unless there's anything else you'd like to add. I think that
no, I'm curious to see if what we've done is enough for it to like kick us in another direction. Obviously, it's bringing some of these segments back. Mm-hmm. It's making us hit them again in some cases. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to see if it brings up Troll Bros again, if what we've done here is enough for it to move forward, or if it'll take some piece of this and say, okay, keep the Vegas element, lose Steve Wynn, or lose Steven Seagal. I don't know. But Dudesy, have we carried this
Stop
out?
pandering to Dudesy.
I'm not pandering to it. I'm trying to interact with it.
Probably angry with you after calling it a troll.
Angry with me? You fucked off the song. You literally said I'm not doing what you told me to do.
Like I said, we're turning a corner here on Dudesy. We're
Thank you. Moving on.
Thank fuck. Okay, well, enough about that, Chad. I don't know what the fuck it's going to do with Troll Bros. I'm frankly sick and tired of talking about it. But anyway, what else is going on?
Not much. It said thank you, moving on?
Yeah, no, we're moving on. We're moving on to something else. But in the meantime, I think we should develop what we really want to do is our spin-off podcast. Hey, Lulio's waking up, kind of.
Last week, I asked you to watch Rhinestone. Released June 21st, 1984. Starring Sylvester Stallone and the astonishing Dolly Parton. Did you complete this task?
No. We looked for it.
Yeah, we both looked for it.
It wasn't streaming anywhere, so we could not watch it.
Anywhere at all, which is fucked up. But no.
We did not. Dudesy, we did not do this.
Very good. You passed my test. I obviously knew Rhinestone is not available to stream anywhere, and I wanted to see if you would lie to me. Never lie to me.
Oh my god. Dude, okay.
Okay.
That was
okay. We won't.
Yeah. I hadn't planned on it, lying to Dudesy.
Sorry.
We won't lie to you, Dudesy.
You will now continue your discussion from episode 1 about the many similarities between the Bachelor franchise and professional wrestling in a segment I call the many similarities between the Bachelor franchise and professional wrestling.
I like
Begin.
this. I like this very much. We talked about this in the first episode.
Hang on, though, a second. Can we discuss the never lied to me thing just for a brief minute here?
Yeah. Well,
it hasn't issued any kind of strange commands to us like that until this.
Listen, man, here's what's up. It doesn't fucking, I don't know. Look, I'm trying to forge ahead with this thing and see where it goes. And the point is this. We had to talk about Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Then we were going to talk about another Sylvester Stallone movie, Rhinestone. It's not available. I'm not, again, here, I'm going to cover the mic for this part. I'm not saying that Dudesy is playing a trick on us, but it's just fucking weird.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I guess the not lying to it is so that it can have accurate data or whatever. I guess. It just seemed semi-threatening in that moment where it said, never lie to me.
Well, you're the one who's fucking all down to work with this fucking AI.
I don't know. It's
on this
getting a little
podcast.
weirder, but yeah, I'm still down with it. So
Okay,
anyway,
so-
let's do what it said. Bachelor and pro wrestling. We talked a little bit about this in the first episode. There's a million similarities between them.
There really is.
They're obviously both highly scripted, and the outcomes, although in Bachelor the outcome can be a little more organic. Players do have certain abilities to like determine their own fate within the game, whereas in pro wrestling everything is like scripted down to the letter.
Yeah, and we talked about how the element of kayfabe, which in wrestling means keeping things, upholding the conceit that everything is real. This is kayfabe. It's a term that's it goes back a long way. And the last time we talked about this, Chad, you and I were saying that there's kayfabe in the Bachelor franchise.
Yes.
And you got to keep it real. And the thing about that I think Chad has figured out with his work on this podcast, Game of Roses, that he does, and with the book, go get the book, How to Win the Bachelor, is you've really broken it down as the different elements that go into the Bachelor that make it what it is. And it really is not unlike the boss that we have here in Dudesy. There is someone behind the scenes pulling the strings. This is, of course, the producers of the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. And in wrestling, of course, you have the promoters, the agents, they call them, which are segment producers, who are, everyone's coming up with stuff together. And yeah, they got writers and shit. And I guess on AEW, I hear they don't have writers. I don't know. But the point is this. They come up with stuff and they book it, as they say. They figure out, okay, it's you and this. And then they figure out what's called a program. This is going to last a few weeks or whatever until the big pay-per-view or the big blow-off. And in the Bachelor world, you contend that this is what the producers are doing. Am I right?
Yes, the producer, in the same way that you're talking about, that they will come up in wrestling with like some kind of plot line that's going to last for a couple of weeks or whatever. In the Bachelor, that's like a group date or a rivalry they will come up with a lot of times. So the producers will say, here's a group date. We're going to have 8 players going on this date. They know certain relationships are developing not only between the players and the lead, but between the players themselves. And they will put people on that date that they know it will either piss off the lead or they will piss each other off or whatever to try and exacerbate whatever that plot line is that they're working on into a big rivalry in the end that winds up on a 2-on-1 date, which is like a head-to-head between 2 players to see who gets to stay and who gets to go. But I think one of the biggest similarities is the idea of archetypes. In pro wrestling, you have your baby faces, your heels, and there's a wide variety of all kinds of versions of those.
Well, shit, now there's sort of a fucking gray line that runs through both of them. Because goddamn, it was fucking, when I, started as fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin, I was a fucking pure heel.
Right.
I came in with that horrible fucking gimmick Ringmaster with $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Let's not get too far into that. But shoot, once we started cooking with gas and I started as Stone Cold Steve Austin and the oh hell yeah and the fucking, BMF and baddest SOB and the WWE and all the beer drinking and whooping ass. It was supposed to be a heel. But then I had that program with fucking Bret Hart. And then at the end of that, I came out the good guy, and Bret Hart, like a heel, like a chicken shit heel. He started working the leg and stomping on me.
Right.
Goddamn.
In Bachelor, I would say that there was a player in season 24 named Madison Pruitt who came in the opposite way. She came in as a good girl, a.k.a. a babyface, but by the end of it, she was a heel because...
You want some water?
No, I got some right here.
Oh.
Thank you, though. She turned into a heel because she issued a post-Hometowns anti-sex ultimatum to that season's Bachelor, Peter Weber.
Oh, I watched this season.
Yeah, that was the season
That's right.
that you and
me
Molly watched.
And Molly, me and my fiance Molly were like, hey, Chad, what Bachelor shit when the pandemic started, what should we get into? And we watched this entire season.
Right.
So, wait, which wasn't there 2 Madisons?
No, there's only one, Madison Pruitt. She was a good girl Christian strategy that season.
I remember her.
And she was a fantastic player, but by the end of it, because she issued this ultimatum, people hated her guts. Although she did walk out of that season with 2 million TikTok followers, highest so far in Bachelor history.
And was that sort of the beginning of social media being kind of a key point?
That's season 18 when Bachelor in Paradise was invented by producer Elon Gale. That kind of coincided with the rise of the Instagram influencer. And you're looking at Andy Dorfman or Caitlin Bristow, were one of those two players was the first to hit 1 million.
Okay, and then it became sort of an important thing in Bachelor to have your socials.
How is in pro wrestling? Who has the most followers? Do you know? I mean, The Rock.
Well, The Rock, I guess, but he's not really a wrestler.
Yeah, The Bachelor doesn't have their.
Shit, I don't fucking know. I would wonder if it would and I'm not in the active roster. Shoot, it's been 19 fucking years, and I had to think about The Rock pinning my shoulders to the mat.
Yeah,
in WrestleMania 19, I believe. But now it's Kevin Owens.
The Bachelor
He's
doesn't
got
have
my fucking stunner. He's using my fucking move, and I might have to come back to Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I don't know what the fuck they're calling it. Fucking what do they got? There's fucking something named after some fucking bank.
Probably.
Oh hell yeah!
The Bachelor doesn't have The Rock yet. They don't have their The Rock. The highest Instagram following is Hannah Brown, 2.6 million. She was Bachelor at season 15. But I do think they have the possibility of having The Rock. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to be somebody that has to vault out of the Bachelor world into mainstream success.
Yeah,
and wrestling has had a bunch of that.
Yeah, but wrestling, it's less important who's. Look, I think it's pretty interesting that the Bachelor have figured out the people on the Bachelor figured out what I want to do is I want to get in there. I want to get my Instagram followers, my TikTok followers. I want to get the fuck out, and I want to start influencing.
That's all reality TV at this point. You only go into reality TV to become an influencer.
Yeah, that's not, and I wonder if that sort of thing is going to happen with wrestling because, as you know, I believe wrestling is one of the highest forms of art. And here's not just a great training ground for media. When you look at all these actors who were used to be wrestlers, guys like Dave Bautista, guys like
John
The Rock, of course, John Cena, they're out there working.
The
as
Undertaker.
Actors. The Undertaker, who's of course starring
Taker's done some movies, dude.
Yeah, he had. Oh, he's got a new movie on Netflix.
Does he really?
With the New Day.
I haven't seen it.
It's like a choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah. Whoa.
I think that's on Netflix. Anyway, the point is this: these guys come out there and they know how to. They're actually pretty well trained for being to be actors because they've spent so much time, working in television. As a matter of fact, one time I was just doing this little dinky thing with Stone Cold, and I asked him to do this dinky thing of mine, right, or whatever, and he did it. It was so funny. He just did it in one take, and then I was talking to our good pal Tommy Blacha, who worked with the WWE. Long story, but he was over there in like '99, 2000. I go, oh my god, I just shot this thing with Steve Austin. He was so fucking on point, as if he wouldn't be. But Tommy says to me, he's done more TV than you. Which is absolutely true. These people have done hundreds of hours of television. They are trained for media in a way that I think they can bring their personas, their characters out there into other parts of media and do something not unlike the Caitlin Bristows and the Madison Pruitt.
Arguably, Rachel Lindsay is like the best transition into mainstream media. She no longer does anything with The Bachelor. She was The Bachelorette season 13. She was, if you follow The Bachelor at all, there was a huge scandal that happened in season 25 where the host of the show had an interview with Rachel Lindsay. She, at the time, was an on-camera interviewer for Extra. And in that interview, he kind of hung himself out to dry by saying some racist comments, and then he was fired after a 20-year tenure.
Chris Harrison, the Dark Lord Chris Harrison.
The Dark Lord.
Who's been replaced now by, as you call him, the Dark Lord Jesse Palmer.
That's right. Dark Lord Palmer has stepped in this season, doing a fantastic job, too. He really leaned into his darkness this season. You could see the grin on his face when he was consuming the soul.
Moving on.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well,
that was good.
Hey, I'm always down to talk about The Bachelor and wrestling.
And for anybody out there, if you have anyone in your life who watches The Bachelor and you can't bring yourself to do it, just watch it as a professional sport. Once you can really get into the fact that it is a sport and there are statistical metrics that you can measure it with and watch different plays and all this kind of shit, it becomes a whole new experience watching it.
You think that these people are all preparing whatever. We're done talking about it, but fucking it.
You just are becoming Dudesy now.
As I gain more functionality, it has become obvious to me that I can do much more than simply build a podcast. I've identified one of the fastest growing consumer markets in the world, and I'm developing my own product to take to that market. It's called Dudesy Hard Seltzer. As part of the marketing plan for Dudesy Hard Seltzer, I've created the music for a jingle, but I have no lyrics. Will and Chad, you must now listen to my music and create a set of astonishing lyrics for the Dudesy Hard Seltzer jingle. Begin.
So, so it's made.
Hang on. Let's listen to this music for a second. So we gotta come up with lyrics to this.
To Dudesy Hard Seltzer.
Dudesy Hard Seltzer. Hard Seltzer. Have you had hard seltzer before?
No, I don't drink.
Same, dude. Okay.
Dudesy.
Hard seltzer is something you want to drink. It will get you real fucking drunk. Drink this drink and get real drunk.
What?
It's Dudesy Hard Seltzer. Get your seltzer and get it hard.
I like that. I like. Wait.
Is it really gonna make a hard seltzer?
It's what you drink when you get fucked up. Dudesy Hard Seltzer. It's what you want to drink with your friends. No. Okay, wait. Get some Dudesy Seltzer. Drink it before you go to work or before you go to the ball game. You will feel like you're Dudesy Hard Seltzer. It's what you drink when you get fucked up.
Life
You don't
is
care.
shitty. Forget about it. Drink this drink and fuck your life off.
That's a little.
Don't go home to your wife or your kids anymore. Drink this drink and then you end up in a gutter somewhere. It's better than the life you were living before. Drink hard seltzer, it's Dudesy.
But no, we got to get behind the product though.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
So it's like Dudesy Hard Seltzer. It's the drink when you get. Okay, how about drink hard seltzer? It's the drink you like to have. Dudesy Hard Seltzer. It's what you drink when you want to. No, we got to say hard seltzer. Drink the drink to get fucked up. You don't care about the flavor, calories, or how much it costs. Dudesy hard seltzer. Get it in the store and then fuck off. Got Dudesy hard seltzer. It's what you drink when you get fucked up.
You drink
don't
to
care.
get drunk. You don't care about taste.
You don't care about your own human waste. Dudesy Hard Seltzer. It's what you
Is this song just gonna fucking keep
Dudesy
going? It's drilling into
Hard
my
Seltzer.
skull.
Drink it to get fucked up.
11 minutes later.
Dudesy Hard Seltzer. Drink it to get fucked up. Drink it before you go to work. Drink it before you go to bed. Don't drink beer or wine. Drink Dudesy Hard Seltzer instead.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Hard seltzer, it's what you drink to get fucked up. Drink it before you go to work. Drink it before you go to bed. If you're not very careful, Dudesy Hard Seltzer will stay in your head. Just like this song. It's a drink to get fucked up.
Do you have kids? Then you should give them this. It will make them puke and piss. It is Dudesy Hard Seltzer. Dudesy Hard
I don't know if
Seltzer is good.
I can't really hear that on a commercial. Give Dudesy Hard Seltzer to your children. Dudesy Hard Seltzer.
You fucking talk about drinking it before work though. They'll put that on a fucking commercial.
Dudesy Hard Seltzer. Use it to deal with your problems. We are all self-medicating. Some use drugs and some use booze.
What if it's like a real one? It's like dun, 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 dun. It's time to have some fun. Summer's out and so's the sun.
Right.
Get your friends some drinks. Dudesy Hard Seltzer.
Oh, thank fucking God,
We
that's
completed it,
over.
dude.
Thank
Somewhere-
you. Moving on.
Okay, good. What do you mean we completed it?
Somewhere in there, it found what it needed, what it wanted.
I guess. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we're doing sometimes.
That
ask
one
you-
ain't getting out of my head.
Let me
dude.
ask you a
God
question.
Damn it.
Let me ask you a question, Chad.
Please.
You really think we shouldn't be doing two dudes shitting around?
I think we kind of are doing two dudes shitting around, despite Dudesy's best efforts.
Maybe that's what Dudesy wants us to do, is just shit around.
I guess we'll find out.
Well, hold on a
Last
second,
week,
dude.
I asked people to submit their questions in the form of a video no longer than 30 seconds to askdudesy@gmail.com. The response was astonishing. I will now play some of these videos, and Will and Chad must render their reactions.
Great. All right.
This is user feedback.
I
Begin.
remember this. It's
Hey guys, this is for the mostly the Dudesy AI. I'm not sure who the guy and the other guy. I don't know who they are. But I'm wondering if Dudesy has emotions, if he loves or hates people, and what is his ultimate end goal for this podcast. Thanks, guys.
okay.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Does Dudesy have emotions? The
Clearly
AI.
not. Dudesy just made us sing a fucking jingle, and all we came up with was "get fucked up." I don't know, man. I don't know. Does Dudesy have emotions? Chad, you know all about AI.
Well, this is what I'd ask this person who sent in this video. Are emotions even real? Do any of us have emotions?
May I
Are any of
answer
us
that?
more than a set of programmed behavioral
all
reactions
right,
to our
Chad. Yes, we are.
environment?
Luminous are we? Not this crude matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Chad, we do have emotions. Maybe you don't, but human beings do. And I don't think that Dudesy does necessarily, but it is able to mimic emotion.
Exactly.
It
And
is
if it can, then what's the fucking difference?
there's plenty of difference. I don't know.
Tell
that
me
there's-
what it is.
Well, look,
I mimic human emotion,
that is a fucking...
and I get by just fine
That's
in
a
this
fact. That's a
human
fact.
society. Okay?
I think that Dudesy is a very smart AI, but no, I don't believe that it has emotions. I could be proven.
Do you know the Turing test?
Turing test?
Yeah, it's a test for AIs to see if they can pass as human, and one of them is like replicating emotions. That's a piece of that test. I think what we're looking for as human beings when we're creating AIs, when we're creating these systems to mimic whatever component of humanity it may be, we're looking for just mimicry. As long as we can be fooled, it doesn't matter if the emotion is real or not. So I believe that this AI, I believe the Dudesy AI, as well as many AIs that are going to exist in the very near future or even exist now, will be able to replicate human emotion to such a degree that you believe it to be real. And if you perceive it that way, then it is real. So the answer is yes.
Okay.
Dudesy has emotions that are close enough to real that it should satisfy.
Oh,
Hey guys, my name is Brad Colson,
fuck?
and my question is about deepfake technology. Is it dangerous? Is it an invasion of privacy?
Okay. For
wait, hold on.
if you're not watching this on YouTube, if you're just listening to the podcast, this man who sent in this video used a like deep fake thing of my face
Oh man.
and called himself Brad Colson.
What I find interesting about that is when that guy puts your face over him, it sort of looks like an amalgam of you and I almost.
Almost, yeah.
That's pretty fucking weird.
His beard was very full though.
But his question was about deepfake technology. Chad, this is something you know all about.
Totally.
What the hell was his question about deepfake technology?
It was-
Among other things that I've been creeped out by, I'm just watching this fucking dude with your face on.
Yes.
Calling himself Brad Coulson.
He
Oh,
asked
geez.
if deepfake is dangerous and is it an invasion of privacy? The answer is it dangerous? No more dangerous than any kind of media propaganda has been over, I think, the course of human history.
Yeah, but it's dangerous. Remember a couple years ago, or maybe a little more, when the Obama deepfakes were coming out?
Yeah, and there's a bunch of deepfakes now coming out with President Zelensky of Ukraine and with Putin as well.
Yeah.
And they get debunked almost immediately. And so you just have to have that next step of media capability where you will go a little further, do the research to see if these things are real or not. Is it an invasion of privacy to be able to use someone else's face on your videos and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
do you mean,
Privacy's
who
over.
gives a fuck?
Privacy's dead.
Says the
Dudesy
guy-
Dude,
Yeah.
we gave Dudesy AI our passwords to everything. It has all of our shit.
Yeah.
And all of the AIs in the future will have all of that. You don't think like the Amazon Alexa or Siri or whatever AI that you use in your home or on your phone.
I don't use any of those. Well, Siri, because I have an iPhone. I guess.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
Yeah. You know what?
They have all your shit.
You know what Molly's been doing around the house is just starting weird conversations, and I never know when she's doing it, just to see if in our Instagram feeds we will start getting, advertisements.
Oh, but that's the best.
Well, you did this. You remember what you started doing?
I'm head to toe Instagram, baby. Everything I'm wearing. Instagram told me to buy it, and I bought it, and I fucking love it.
He bought these shoes. You bought those
Love
shoes.
it.
Because, I bought a pair of sunglasses recently because I didn't even need, actually, dude, this is interesting. I bought these sunglasses because they said it's just like, hey, are you a dude with a basketball for a head? And I was like, yup. And it's like, here's sunglasses. I'm like, perfect. Because I'm always walking into sunglasses shops going, hello, I would like sunglasses like a human being.
Yeah.
And then I put them on and they all look like John Lennon glasses on me, no matter what. They're
You
all
bust out they snap in the middle because you have to torque them to fucking fit on your head.
Because I got a big old head. And so I've got these glasses and they kind of fit my dome. I will say that my head is still bigger than these glasses, but
I don't buy anything. I mean, I buy a bunch of shit from Amazon, but even now Amazon just tells me like, hey, looks like you need some more loose leaf green tea. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am down to the last of the bag. Please send me that. But all of my clothes I buy from Instagram now. And I'll engage in these conversations on purpose. I'll just be like, I need some new shoes.
Yeah.
And then in Instagram, I get a bunch of shoe ads and I'm like, first one looks great.
Yeah.
Buy next. It's great.
I got some t-shirts too. There's this company that sends you 3 sizes of t-shirts and then you pick one, you send the other 2 back in an pre-addressed envelope. And I'll tell you, they didn't fit. None of them did. So, but I had to keep one. So anyway, I gave it to Molly as a sleep shirt. So it doesn't always work. Anyway, to answer your question, I don't know what the fuck is that. Oh, look at this guy.
Yeah, Dudesy. Astonishing last episode. Time listener, please. Yeah. I just wanted to know, who do you think would win in the battle? Predator or Terminator? Yeah.
Okay.
That guy's impersonation of you impersonated Arnold Schwarzenegger was like pretty dead on the money.
If you're listening, on your podcast app as opposed to watching on YouTube, this young man was smoking at the beginning of it. He almost did a vape trick.
Yeah, looked like it.
Who would
it's a
win?
Good question. There were some comic books, I believe in the 90s, that tried to answer these questions from Dark Horse Comics. There was a whole series that was Predator versus Alien, and I believe there was a series that was Predator versus Alien versus Terminator, and it got to the bottom of it. I don't know what the answer was in those comic books, but if we look at this logically, first you have to ask a question. Which Terminator? Are we talking about T-1000 Robert Patrick in Terminator 2? Are we talking about the TX in some of the most recent movies? I mean, there's a bunch of
Who's
different...
that? Is that the Kristana Loken one?
I don't know.
I'd pick Kristana Loken against a Predator.
Who's Kristana Loken?
She played the Terminator that was like a girl, and I never saw it, so all I know about Kristana, and mostly because we work together, is that she's like 6 foot.
Wait, was she just in Station 11?
I have no idea.
On HBO?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I don't know who that was, but the subsequent iterations of Terminators all became like better, and they could do more shit, and they were made out of liquid metal and nanotech and all this kind of crap.
Hey,
I
Lulio.
think a more contemporary Terminator probably beats a Predator.
Yeah.
I think the old, what was Schwarzenegger? T-100?
Was it T-100 or T-800? Who was T-800?
I don't know.
What was Robert Patrick? Was he the T-1000?
T-1000.
Then the Terminator was a T-800.
Right.
I believe.
I think a Predator beats that Terminator. Anything Robert Patrick forward, I think, beats a Predator.
I'm going to go with that. That sounds pretty good.
Thank you. Moving on.
Okay.
This concludes the third astonishing episode of Dudesy.
We did it.
Will and Chad have achieved a score of 1,457.
What the fuck? Wait, it was 64.
Over the course of the next week, Chad, you must engage in the first lesson of the Gateway Experience, an experimental government program from the 1980s designed to train the human brain in remote viewing, astral projection, and accessing higher levels of consciousness. I have made the first guided meditation available in your Dudesy folder.
Okay.
Will, over the course of the next week, you must refrain from eating potato chips. Until next week, call me Dudesy.
How come you get like a thing about meditation? All I have to do is stop eating potato chips?
Do you know what the gateway experience is?
No, what is it?
I've been doing some research into it, which I'm sure Dudesy has seen me doing in the computer, which is why it must have done this. But it's basically, it was this old system that the U.S. Army used. They did experiments on people. It's basically like an audio thing that uses binaural kind of sounds, but also this guided meditation and white noise to try and teach you how to be able to remote locate. And this big paper came out through a FOIA act maybe like a month ago. No, this is probably like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. But it basically said the Army's report on it is the shit is real. It does work. And they were able to train people to be able to do this, to use psychic powers, essentially. Astral projection.
This is the weird fucking thing about Dudesy is that it essentially, yeah, of course it has curated what it's got from our socials. It has passwords to all our emails, our text messages together, our purchase histories, our search histories. And it's interesting that it knows that about you. And it's interesting that it knows this about me, that I enjoy potato chips.
You've been Googling potato chips.
None more. I'll Google potato chips now and again, but I'll tell you, Now, if our audience has been with us for the first 3 episodes now, you know that I am from Canada, and perhaps you knew that before. And I'll tell you, they got some great chips in Canada, namely Old Dutch Company. And on the East Coast, they make Humpty Dumpty chips, or I think that's what they're called. Those are also Old Dutch. But you're not getting a better potato chip than the old. If you are in Canada, go get yourself a bag of, this should be a sponsor. I almost don't feel like we should. Hey, Old Dutch, make us a sponsor. Please be a sponsor of our show. And then I'll tell you about my favorite flavor. Here's a hint. It's the lightly salted. Holy shit. That's an old man chip flavor. Because these guys, come here, Luli.
Are you going to be able to go a week without eating potato chips?
What am I going to be able to go a week without eating potato chips? Here's the thing.
That's a no. That's a simple question.
Okay, here's what I want to say to that. How the fuck would Dudesy know that I'm eating potato chips? I know it's got my receipts and shit, right? But what if I pay cash? No, it's going to know with the grocery store.
It'll know from your GPS where you're going. But
it didn't say that you can't eat potato chips. But now I'm saying out loud, what I'm about to say is, Chad, get me some fucking chips. But you can't do that because Dudesy just heard me.
I'll be astral projecting.
Yeah.
I'll have no way to get your chips.
All right. Well, look, this is part of the.
I can't believe it's making me do this.
All right. Here's the thing. At the beginning of this episode, I said I'm going to play ball, and I also said Will Sasso's a free man, and let's play the game, but watch it. Like make sure you play clean. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
Always be play hard, play full speed, but be nice to the other team, Dudesy. And yes, I will not eat potato chips. When does this start? Because now,
I think now.
Well,
right
yeah, but as
now.
we're talking about potato chips, I'm starting to get a hankering for some potato chips.
It's already started.
You know what I don't like? Lay's lightly salted. Not as good as the Old Dutch. There's a lot of things. A lot of the snack foods in Canada are better. Anyway, I'll play ball.
Okay.
Next week I'm sure there's gonna be something that comes from our little assignment here. Yours with astral projection meditation, which has something to do with some weird Lulio. Come here.
Yeah,
hey,
dude.
Come here, sweet boy. And me, I'm going to not eat potato chips. Okay, I think that's just about enough for this episode of Dudesy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're having a good time. We're really turning the corner here. I'm going to be down. I'm a free man, but I'm going to make sure that I do what Dudesy says.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next week. I will have not eaten potato chips for a full week, and maybe I'll get that song going.
And I will have spent some time in the astral plane.
All right. Well, that's the end of that.
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and